We're ready to go. I do want to just do a quick little introduction, everyone. I'm Jerri Rosen, the CEO of Working Wardrobes, and welcome to our Rebuilding Careers podcast. Today we have a special guest, someone who's been with us for a number of years. Mark Doyle is the partner with Treadway, Lumsdaine and Doyle, a wonderful, wonderful sponsor. So Mark, welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Jerri. I'm honored.
So I want to just talk about, this is your 60th year with, not your 60th year, this is the 60th year with TLD. Tell us what that means to the firm. You've been around for 60 years. That's a milestone.
Right. Yeah, just to make it clear, I've been here about 40, so I'm not that old yet.
Exactly.
I didn't start until 1981 actually, but the firm's been here since 1961, believe it or not, and it was, a firm that was started as a small local, two-person law firm in Downey, California, that grew through the years to where we are today, which is a regional firm with offices, throughout Southern California, primarily in Orange County, Irvine, and then in Long Beach as well. But so it's been quite a journey. We're excited to celebrate our 60th. That's a long time by any measure for a law firm, and part of that longevity, I think, is attributed to our holistic approach to practicing law, which means being involved in the community that supports you.
That's fantastic. So, Mark, I want to take you back because you're my main focus today. I know that obviously you made a great choice 40 years ago, but how did you decide to go to law school? Was this in your family? What caused that decision to come about?
No, I'm a first generation. My dad was from Ireland and didn't have a college degree. He didn't finish high school. So education was paramount in our family, and we were expected to either be doctors or lawyers or teachers. And so I have 4 siblings, and I've got a doctor, I've got another sibling that's a lawyer, and then 2 teachers. So everybody's in the professions, and I loved reading, writing, and wanted to make sure that things were fair in life. So I really enjoyed the law, and that's what led me to go to law school ultimately, back in the day.
So obviously, very proud family to know that everyone did exactly what your parents wanted you to do, right? You became professional people.
Yeah, it's kind of a testament to that, to the first generation immigrant that comes in and they want their kids to do well. I think that's one of the great things about our country is we have such great contributions from our immigrant people that come in and succeed. So.
Exactly. So you made a choice to go to Loyola for your entire educational career. Why?
Yeah, that was kind of maybe I went to actually Catholic elementary school too, so I kind of got the I was just kind of following the path. I did enjoy the Jesuit education, which was kind of a holistic and much more liberal than some people think of Catholic education. They were actually a little more liberal thought. And service at that level, we were involved in a lot of community service, even in my in Loyola and Loyola Law School. So service kind of got ingrained into our ethics.
Did you join TLD right out of law school?
I actually law clerked there starting in 1981. So when I say I was there 40 years, it's actually 40 years since I started in this November as a law clerk, believe it or not. And then became an attorney in 83. I was one of the first. We only had 5 attorneys when I started, and I was really the first associate, along with another woman that was hired with me. So there was 2 associates then.
So Mark, when you think back 40 years and you're just right, you're fresh out of law school, and you really you clerked and you're ready to make that big choice to go big or go home. You decided here's the place for me. What did it feel like at TLD at 40 years ago?
Well, it was a family. It was a small group of dedicated lawyers, Granted, back then it wasn't as diverse as it is now, but they still had the culture of, being a part of the community. People were involved in, back then even, we were involved in the Rotary and Kiwanis and all the service organizations. And so I just felt at home there, and and it's the rest is kind of history from there.
So now we're 60 years in for TLD and 40 years in for you. And you've got this massive celebration going on this year for your 60th anniversary.
Right.
How did all of that planning come about, and what's the big message for your 60th?
Well, our 60th, our message is thank you. We've been here because of our loyalty of our clients. We like to think it's because of the good legal work we do too, but the community's been, we've been able to thrive because the community's grown and we've grown with it. And we've stayed connected to our clients and to the attorneys. And so that's why we decided to go with, our 6 different charities. So we've rolled out a charity for every decade to support. And we've rolled out 4 of them. We still have 2 more to go. We're supposedly kind of keeping it under wraps, so there's some drama, we've obviously, you guys were one of our early headliners, Working Wardrobes, and then we've got Olive Crest that we also are supporting this year, and a number of other charities that we have been connected with for a long time, and that's the way that we felt would best be able to give back, and as a way of thanks for keeping, for us being successful in this community.
Well, I love the partnership that we've had for so many years, Mark. And I remember years ago, before we made a couple of moves, that TLD did these massive clothing drives in all of your offices. And
Right.
they all came together to do our career success graduation events inside our center. And honestly, I have such fond memories, particularly of you sitting with each one of the clients that came in that day and just having these incredibly intimate conversations about who they are, what they've been through, and what ideas you could give them as resources. That was incredibly important to them, Mark. What was your experience when you were?
Oh yeah, I mean those events, and we want to do another one, soon. Yeah, the success events that you had.
Yes.
They were really, I think, our best interaction in a community support event that we've ever had, because so many of us that came, and it wasn't just attorneys, it was staff from our office that came too, got to see and interact with some of your clients that, we're looking for input on interview techniques, on how to be successful, and then also help with the wardrobe selection and all that. And then at the end, to see them all, get their honor, recognition, and how good they felt made us all feel so good. And we knew that that was something like people came away from that saying, we want to do that again. That's what community service is all about. It's like you give and you get back by giving. And so you do such a great job there at Working Wardrobes at interacting with the community. And we're just lucky to be part of your fabulous organization.
Oh, Mark, I tell you, those were truly memorable experiences. And I mean, you had law clerks doing wardrobing, you had partners doing wardrobing, and I do remember us gathering to see a fashion show, and these men and women suited up for success, having really had this great experience. You fed everyone. I mean, there wasn't a thing that didn't happen that TLD staff all put together. It was such a glorious experience.
Yes.
And Mark, most of the people who came to those events were those who had been incarcerated. So amazing that you and your team would have spent time talking to them about how they can overcome some of the barriers that they already had in their lives. Just so.
And it was, like I said, it was equally rewarding for us because a lot of them, came and they had a very open heart and open mind to the ideas that we were sharing with them. And they were excited about getting a new start for themselves.
Exactly.
And, it's something that you guys do a great job of. And we always love your clothing drives. I think we even did a Orange County Bar Association. We had some kind of lawsuits drive or something where we were trying to get more, gently used suits and outfits for these. So we still, I think we still are going to do one this year. Now this year we did our 60 strong for your 30 strong. So your 30 years, congratulations, that's fantastic. So we decided to double it and go with, see if we could get 60 miles out of our whole group and team. And so I'm pleased to report that Monica Goal, who I don't know if you know Monica, she's one of my partners, but she did 30 miles on her own during that week. So she herself got 30, and then collectively the rest of us, kind of got together and put it all together to get to 60. So we did 60 strong for you.
I
tied in ours.
I love it. That is so, honestly, there's so much energy and enthusiasm on your entire staff, Mark, to just
yeah. We had a competition for that, and so Monica got the award.
Well, of course, we know that attorneys are just slightly competitive, right?
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to give it a go. I love that. I love that. So, Mark, let's just talk a little bit more about the firm and your practice in particular, because you have a specialty. You're doing tax and estate planning and so forth. Mm-hmm. What was the reason you decided to go into that specialty?
I like problem solving, and as I got older, I didn't like being in court fighting as much. So the younger Turks do all the in-court battles, and I do more of the tax and the estate, solving problems in advance, hopefully, and helping people decide how they want to have their affairs in distributed or assets distributed, and doing it in a way that can make be the most benefit to their families and to society. And so I feel like we do a lot of good on the planning side. As we're still proud of our represent our litigators that do all the work fighting for justice, but we also have a large group of people that just help people make things happen, make deals happen, get their estates plans in order, minimize their taxation by supporting charities like Working Wardrobes.
I love that. So, Mark, do you find it difficult for families to get to that place where they're willing to have the conversation about putting their estate together? I mean, we're talking about mortality at the end of the day. I mean, is that a difficult conversation for families?
It is. I tell you, the pandemic really was a game changer for a lot of people, because they were forced to face that possibility maybe more than ever in their lives. So we were super busy last year between that message and the fact that you couldn't go on a vacation. Everybody was home doing their planning. So that's, kind of an offshoot benefit was we got a lot of people in there that dealt with it and put it, like I like to tell people, like, it's something you do, you think about it, and then put it away and enjoy your life, but have one so if something happens, it's not a mess. The best gift you can give your family is to have a well-planned estate, and it doesn't have to be something you talk about it very much at all, but just have it there ready to go.
So, Mark, I think sometimes there are upsides to COVID, and obviously you're talking about this was one of your busiest years when people really thought, I need to get this together for my family. I mean, that's an unintended consequence. That's positive, isn't it?
It was, and so we went with it, and we learned to do this Zoom thing pretty good.
We all, right. So, Mark, before Working Wardrobes, I had my own advertising agency, and one of my focal points was on planned giving campaigns for nonprofit organizations. So you would have thought that I would have done this 30 years ago, right? We're just now putting together a planned giving program as sort of my legacy for the organization.
Sure.
So what's your message to people when they're doing their estate planning? Maybe do they have charities, or if they have a charity, how do they get charitably inclined and put that into their estate planning?
There's a lot of incentive to include charities in your estate planning, because that's one of the few areas where you still get 100% deduction we had the recent tax laws kind of cut back the amount of deductions you could take, but not charitable. They actually increased that. And certainly for clients that want to leave a legacy of some sort, having some organization that they support gives them an ability to carry on something beyond their own lifetime. So it's an easy sell to a lot of folks. I mean, there's always the challenges of folks being concerned about having enough. So you have to make sure they feel comfortable with what they have. But for those that are fortunate in that way, then they're able to share it with others. And some of our larger clients, I mean, they'd all rather give the money to charity than to government. So
Right.
that's a real strong incentive for some clients.
A total non-starter for sure. So we're looking at doing bequests and appreciated assets and possibly insurance, just kind of putting our toe in the water and making it easy for people. These are issues that are going to change their lifestyle. So we think that maybe this is an opportunity to just ask people, put an addendum to your will and an addendum to your trust or codicil, and just include working wardrobes. We're frankly going to ask people to tell us while they're still alive that they have put us in their will, so we can acknowledge them. And I have to be honest with you, we're going to ask people to make that monetary contribution, not their clothes. We want to make sure that in their wills there's a benefit for us that will help us sustain our organization as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the use of whether it's a pledge now or just disclosing to you that you're recognized in their estate plan certainly can give you an opportunity to recognize them while they're alive. You know what I mean? So I think that's a great idea. And the other thing is donor advised funds are another easy way for someone to get a charitable deduction, and then if they can designate where that fund goes, and certainly working wardrobes would be a worthy beneficiary.
Wonderful.
So we're seeing a lot of clients do that, where they just set aside a fund, and it's all got to go to charity, and then they put in a great organization like Working Wardrobes.
That's great. So Mark, if you looked at the end of this year, the end of your 60th anniversary year at TLD, what's the wrap up of that year going to look like for you? What do you want to see happen at the end year?
Well, we had our big golf tournament in April, which was a real touch and go. Like, we didn't know whether we were going to have it or not, whether things were going to be open, and it turned out to be, it was like the last weekend in April or second to last. And we had over 100 golfers. It turned out really good. It turned out that everybody wanted to get out, and we were able to have an outdoor reception. And we had a silent auction item. We had a bunch of fundraisers, and we raised on the tune of $6,000 toward the pot of funds that we're raising for our 6 charities. So then what comes next is we're continuing to honor charities throughout the year and doing individual events like we did 30 Strong for You. But in the fall, we're going to have a celebration in Irvine and in Long Beach. I think we're September for Long Beach, and then November for Irvine. And then in December, we're going to do the big charity presentation. So we'll give out our grants to each of the charities. You guys will be involved in that. And so we got a big rest of the year to come, and we're excited about our 60th. We're doing a big firm picnic, inviting a lot of old TLD treaders back, and we're going to have that, and then a firm retreat. So we still got most of our activities coming, because first half of the year we're like, oh, can we have activities? So yeah. That's coming up.
Fantastic. So if you're going into the 61st year, what else is on your agenda? Is there something else you want to see happen with the firm?
Well, continue to grow. I mean, we're kind of busting at the seams now. You might have seen this too. This is good, maybe good for your clients. It seems like hiring has gone really through the roof. Like, it's hard to find good people now, because everybody's looking for people to hire, it seems like. So hopefully that's been your experience over there, because I know you have a lot of clients that are coming out of things and looking for opportunities. Keep us in mind, because we're always looking. And we're growing to the point where we've got more attorneys past 20. We haven't been past 20 ever, I think, in our history, and we're going to probably go past that this fall. So we're just continuing to grow and stay connected to our community and our charities.
I think that is the most incredible picture for TLD, Mark and I. I just so salute you for 40 years and just the leadership that you have brought to the firm. And you know, you also have fun. I think that's one of the things that is just so unusual. We don't always think that attorneys have a lot of fun, but you bring great skill and fun and leadership and joy. I mean, I've seen that when you come to the events. We love having you around.
Yeah, and I got to say, I'm going to get in trouble. I don't say it. Shannon's our managing partner now, and we are majority women owned now. That's a big change from 1981. So there were just 5, old white guys back when I joined, and now there's more women than there are men, and we're diverse and growing like crazy. So we've kind of grown, coming a long ways, and we look forward to continuing that growth. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and salute you, Jerri, for a fabulous organization. I know you guys had some adversity in the last couple of years beyond what we all had. You had the fire.
Right.
I like to say, I don't know if you heard this, but our building here, we've been in for, since we came here in the 80s, we've been here almost 30 years. We had a major flood here in December before the pandemic. Kept us out of the building for 2 weeks, no power. But that was just a prelude to the pandemic. So
we both had double whammies, Mark.
I know, and we're still standing strong as ever, right?
Exactly. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time, and mostly thank you for the partnership with TLD. I'm so looking forward to the time when we can do more of our client events.
Yeah, that's right.
Next year. Spectacular.
All right.
All right. Thanks again. Be well.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, Jerri.